She took a job she hated, for a boss she feared. The real nightmare began when she looked in the mirror and saw the devil staring back. Andy has just graduated from college and dreams of being a serious journalist. She thinks the fashion world is silly and shallow. But then, she applies for a job that every fashion-loving girl in the city would die to have, being the assistant to Miranda Priestly, the super strict editor-in-chief of Runway Magazine. Even though Andy knows nothing about fashion, she gets the job. She decides to put up with her boss's weird and mean demands, hoping it will help her get a better writing job later on. The only problem is, she's really bad at the job at first. She doesn't fit in with her stylish and catty coworkers, especially Emily, the head assistant, who does not like her one bit. One evening, Andy is having a dinner out with her dad, who's visiting her in New York City. Suddenly, her boss, Miranda, calls. Miranda is stuck in Florida because a hurricane has shut down the airport. But she demands that Andy somehow find a flight to get her home. So, Andy drops everything and tries to book a flight with every single airline she can find. But it's no use. The storm is too bad. When Miranda does make it back to New York office, she tells Andy that she is more disappointed in her more than any assistant she's ever had. Andy is feeling totally lost, so she has a chat with Nigel, the magazine's art director. He gives her a whole new way of looking at Miranda, at her job, and at fashion itself. Inspired, Andy decides it's time for a change. With Nigel's help, she starts actually learning how to do her job and gets a stylish new wardrobe to match. She begins to get really good at it, but she has to give up more and more of her time with her boyfriend Nate and their friends. Miranda notices Andy's glow up and finally gives her a special, important job, delivering the book, which is the mock-up of the next magazine issue, right to her home. Andy feels incredibly proud, because Emily had told her that Miranda never lets strangers into her house. Before Andy goes to Miranda's house, Emily warns her that she has to be like a ghost, completely invisible. But when she gets there, Miranda's twin daughters trick Andy into going upstairs. Andy accidentally walks right into the middle of a huge fight between Miranda and her husband. Totally embarrassed, Andy drops the book and runs out. The next day, Miranda gives her an impossible job: get the unpublished manuscript for the next Harry Potter book for her twins. Andy is so fed up. She's ready to quit right then and there. But just in the nick of time, her writer friend, Christian, manages to get a copy for her. Andy delivers the manuscript to a completely shocked Miranda and gets to keep her job. However, Nate is not happy that she's getting pulled deeper into this world. Andy is finally getting the hang of things at Runway and is becoming really good at her job. Emily's big dream is to go to Paris Fashion Week as Miranda's assistant, and she's been following a super strict, unhealthy diet to get ready for it. But then, Emily gets sick. Miranda tells Andy that she has to join Emily in going to a big charity event. Their job is to stand nearby and secretly whisper details about people to Miranda, so she never looks unprepared. At the party, Andy saves Miranda from an awkward moment by remembering a name that Emily had forgotten. She also meets Jacqueline Follet, the head of the French edition of Runway, and is Miranda's biggest rival. Later, Andy turns down a chance to meet a big publisher from Christian. And in the middle of all this, she completely misses Nate's birthday party. One night, while Andy is dropping off the book at Miranda's house, Miranda tells that she wants Andy to come to Paris Fashion Week with her instead of Emily. Andy feels terrible about Emily and hesitates. But Miranda tells Andy that if she says no, it will show everyone that she isn't serious about her job, not just at Runway, but at any future magazine she might want to work for. The next day, Andy has to be the one to tell Emily that she's taking her place on the Paris trip. Meanwhile, Emily is rushing back to the office with some scarves she bought for Miranda. In the chaos, Emily gets hit by a taxi. Andy has to deal with the guilt of confronting a now injured Emily about Paris. Later, things get worse at her friend Lily's art show. Andy accepts a kiss on the cheek from Christian, and Lily sees it. She gets furious and tells Nate. Later, Nate confronts Andy and realizes that her new job has changed her too much. And they don't really have anything in common anymore, and he breaks up with her. In Paris, Andy is living the dream, attending glamorous fashion shows, and even meeting the famous designer Valentino. One night, she walks into Miranda's hotel suite and finds her crying. While working on a seating chart, Miranda confesses that her husband is divorcing her. She's upset that the newspapers will once again paint her as a cold, career-obsessed woman who doesn't care about her family. But her biggest worry is for her daughters, who are losing another father figure. Later, Nigel reveals that he has landed his dream job as the creative director for a major designer. That night, Andy has dinner with Christian, who finds out she's single. After sharing a few bottles of wine, Andy lets her guard down, and one thing leads to another, and they end up sleeping together. The next morning, while in Christian's hotel room, Andy finds out that the owner of Runway Magazine is planning to fire Miranda and give her job to Jacqueline Fallet. Christian confirms the rumor, saying Miranda is seen as outdated and Jacqueline will bring a fresh new style. Andy storms out and races to find Miranda to warn her about the plot. But when she finally delivers the news, Miranda's reaction is totally calm and cold. At a fancy luncheon for the designer James Holt, Miranda makes an announcement that Jacqueline will be the new creative director for James Holt's company, surprising Andy and Nigel. On the car ride to the next event, Miranda reveals to Andy that she knew all along about the plan to fire her. But Miranda found another great job to offer Jacqueline, so she wouldn't want Miranda's job anymore. Then, Miranda went to the owner of Runway with a list of all the most important designers, stylists, and models in the fashion industry. Miranda is the one who discovered and supported all of them, and they are so loyal to her that they would all leave Runway if she ever did. Firing Miranda would destroy the magazine. Miranda tells Andy that she sees a lot of herself in her. But Andy says she could never treat people the way Miranda just treated Nigel. Miranda reminds Andy that she stepped over Emily to get to Paris. Andy realizes this isn't the person she wants to be. When they arrive at the next event, she just walks away. Her phone rings with a call from Miranda, but she throws it into a fountain, leaving that whole life behind for good. After returning to New York, Andy meets Nate for breakfast. He shares that he's accepted a new job as a chef at a popular restaurant in Boston. But he suggests that they could work something out. For the first time in a while, Andy feels a spark of hope for their future. Andy goes to an interview for a job at a serious newspaper. The interviewer tells that Miranda Priestly personally called him and told that Andy was her biggest disappointment. And if he didn't hire Andy, he would be a total idiot. Afterwards, Andy calls Emily asking for a favor to take all the designer clothes she got in Paris. Emily pretends to be annoyed, saying the clothes will be way too big for her, but she happily agrees to take them anyway. Just then, Andy spots Miranda across the street, getting into her car. Andy gives her a warm smile, but Miranda just looks right through her as if she were a stranger. Once Miranda is inside the car, she smiles to herself, proud of Andy's decisions. Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.